All right. Good morning, everybody. This is Steve with Real Progressives. This is going to be a really, really short live stream, real quick explainer about something that I think that people don't always account for when they're coming up with a really good ideas box and they're throwing things out there and seeing what sticks at the wall and so forth. But this is the thing that we need to talk about momentarily, and that is timelines. Some of you probably played with timelines in elementary school. Maybe you played with them in your job today. But timelines are really important, and estimating projects is extremely important. The reason why I'm saying this is there's a bunch of ways to get to the cheese. If we're looking at these different pathways to get to the end, get to the end game, how do we get there? How do we get to the cheese? Okay, so we're in a maze and we're trying to figure out what the best path, the least cost, the quickest path to get to the finish line, to get to the goal. And when you talk about all these different ways of doing things, I've oftentimes said murder by policy, murder by proxy. I've used terms that talk about, these people that are throwing roadblocks and different hurdles in front of you that slow you down from the path of least resistance, the most important pathway to get to the finish line, the goal line. So when you look at these different pathways, and I'm not going to pass any value judgments. Maybe I will. I'm going to try not to pass too many value judgments on some of these different pathways to the end game. And I want you to kind of think through this with me logically. All right. If somebody is telling you that they want to have green energy and save the planet from cataclysmic environmental destruction brought on by fossil fuels and all these other things, and then you hear the scientists tell you you've got 12 years before you start seeing the absolute destruction that comes from this. Now think about this. You've got a hard line there. It says 12 years. Now my guess is that 12 years to be completed with everything? Is that 12 years to reduce certain emissions to such a degree that it slows or stops or starts retreating the changes that are occurring? Think about what I'm saying here. What are your key dates along this timeline? 12 years until it happens? Is it 5 years until we have to do something else? What has to take place over that 12 years to accomplish stopping us from going into a friggin' whirlwind down into a death spiral of a planet that it no longer sustains life? What is it that we have to do? Now, I speak about modern monetary theory, but it's not because I just love this ticky-tacky monetary thing. It's great. I love it. It's cool. But it in and of itself is not a means to an end. It in and of itself is a way of getting to the end. Okay? Now, we understand that MMT removes a lot of the restrictions from our mind. It unshackles the mind and lets us get rid of all the noise and lets us cut straight through to the end. Right? It lets us get rid of all the political nonsense, none of the us versus them nonsense. We can just go straight for the prize. Again, let's keep it real. 12 years. 12 years. So the Green Party has a different idea. The Green Party wants to end the Fed. 12 years. The Green Party wants to green the dollar. 12 years. The Green Party would like you to believe that the debt is going to kill us. 12 years for environmental crisis. The Green Party would like you to believe that suddenly private banksters are what is controlling the federal government and that they own the government and that the government borrows money from private banks. Not true, but regardless. And they want to end all this because they don't believe we have a sovereign currency today. So if we're just drawing things out, right? We're just spitballing, okay? Modern monetary theory's got a line. That line, let's say it's like this, okay? There's your line. Right here is a starting point. Right here is the ending point. Well, this AMI greening the dollar nonsense. Sorry, I'm making value judgments, aren't I? Let's take a look at that. What does that look like? Okay. First of all, it's founded in nonsense. But second of all, it doesn't meet our objectives, does it? The world is blown up while they're chasing conspiracies and chasing nonsense. So let's talk about that for a minute. If you are an activist and you know that running around from protest to protest isn't been producing fruit, has not produced fruit for you, you've not seen the kind of change you want, and you feel this urge to give up, because that's what happens when you're not successful. People start saying, I'm just throwing good life after bad. If I'm going to die, let me die with a smile. Let me smoke a pack of cigarettes, get drunk, do whatever it is we do when we give up, right? Well, when I look at what the Green Party national leadership is putting forward, again, let me show you this again. Okay? When I see that their timeline extends us out past the point of critical destruction, and I realize that they absolutely refuse to hear anything from the MMT community, and I realize that that puts our lives in very, very severe danger, I say to myself, Houston, we've got a problem. We got a real problem here. Now, you'll hear me oftentimes say that we've got the real resources available to retrofit every smokestack in America. You'll hear me say we've got the real resources to change out every car in America to some other form of energy, to some other form of engine, to some other form of battery, whatever. You'll hear me oftentimes say we could have the money right now to replace our entire energy grid to renewable right now, not in 20 years after we've greened the dollar, after we've ended the Fed, after we've taken down the Rothschilds, after we've ended the international banking cabal conspiracy there, after. Okay. Again, let's keep it real. I'm a project manager, and I refuse to allow anyone that doesn't understand this to stand in my way of saving my children. Do you understand? Anybody that doesn't understand timelines is unfit to lead. They're unfit to lead. They're unfit to tell me how it should be. And they're unfit in any way, shape, or form to speak as an authority. So when we talk about ending capitalism, let's talk about that. I'm going to draw another timeline here, because we got to end capitalism too before we can do anything. Remember, they don't want to hear about MMT. They want to end capitalism and end the Fed. So let's draw that out. So now we got a different timeline, don't we? Now we're way past the tipping point, aren't we? Now we're ending capitalism, and God knows how long that line is. I just ran out of paper there. But we're going to also do a lot of other ticky-tack things. Now, mind you, we got 12 years. But we're going to end the Fed, and we're going to end capitalism. After a while, you begin to realize there's some people that don't know what the fuck they're talking about, trying to lead us off of a cliff. And it becomes very apparent that your lives are in danger listening to them. Timelines, folks. I talked about spreadsheets before. Now we're talking timelines. Now, let me give you a really juicy one. It's called dependencies. Somebody asked me, what's the problem with the Venus Project? Well, let me show you that. We're going to do timelines one more time, and I'm just going to run out of paper, because ultimately I would need not only this paper, but I'd need another piece of paper to draw an extensive timeline to take all the years that we have to overthrow the means of production, get rid of every capitalist in America, get rid of every capitalist in the world, get rid of every business, take back all resources, you name it. And I say 12 years. 12 years. 12 years. At some point in time, I need people to start waking the fuck up. Oh, did I say that brutally? Yes, I did. Do you know why? Because you're taking my life in your hands and you're playing with it for your own conspiracy fetish. Get into pornography or something weird. Do something different, man. Stop messing with economics. Do some other bad habit. Start drinking again. I don't care what you do, but don't do economics. If you're going to continue to lead us off a cliff, don't do it. Get into collecting toenails. Start collecting t-shirts with funny signs on them. I don't care. Get buttons. Get a button collection. Start collecting baseball cards. Whatever it is that keeps you out of economics. Yeah, the next currency, we're going to have nanoparticles tied to it. And then we're going to, dude, timelines. Am I pissed? Nah, marginally so, because I'm so used to being misled by our friends. Our friends. Now, I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to draw another thing, and it's going to really piss some people off, but I'm good at that, so why not keep doing it, right? Here's something else we're going to talk about. Here is the prize. See that little circle? That's the prize. If we go straight to it, we win. Okay? But now I'm going to draw the local dog catcher. He's a bad guy. And now I'm going to draw over here, you know, how we want to have a bunch of people pay the price for years and years and years of being jerks, right? So there it is again. Now I'm going to sit there and show you, we've got to, you know, do some other thing that has nothing to do with the grand prize. And after a while, you start saying, holy shit, I can't even see the goal anymore. I can't even see the goal anymore. What are we trying to do again? Can somebody please tell me what the hell we're trying to do again? I lost track of it. I forgot. I don't know where to go with this, man. Hey, man, there's just a million things going. Dude, I don't know, man. You know, I heard the local town hall guy was a philanderer, and I heard he made over $5 on his damn taxes. Occupy. Okay, cool. Remember, timelines. People are standing in the way of, and you know, somebody tried to tell me that the left has always been disorganized. The left has always been disorganized. You got to take care of yourself, Steve, because get used to it, strap it on. This is the way it is over here. And I'm saying we need a new left. We need a new left that's competent and willing and capable, that turns the noise out. Because this isn't I don't have 40 years. You don't have 40 years. They don't have 40 years. They don't have 100 years. They don't get to talk about the next millennial struggle. And I'm telling you this out of love, not some arrogant, dismissive anything. You've got 12 years. Do you think that if I say it differently, they'll hear me? I don't believe so. I believe that people that don't want to hear this, that want to just go spin like whirling dervishes, running here, running there, chasing this, chasing it, I believe that's what they want to do. I believe that we need to find the people that want to save the planet, to be heroes for their children, and by extension, the people that are whirling dervishes. I believe we need to find those people so that we can save ourselves in spite of ourselves. 12 years, timelines. The next time you hear somebody bad-mouthing MMT, timelines. Even if they don't like it, timelines. Give me the estimated completion date for ending capitalism, Coolio Julio. Give me the estimated completion time, the amount of real resources, the amount of tipping point people you need to end capitalism. Give it to me now so I can figure how it fits in the 12-year time frame we have on this planet. Give it to me. If you can't answer that, lead, follow, or you know the rest. Get the bleep out of the way. 12 years. We need everyone. It would be great if everyone said, oh shit, he's right. God bless it. We got to stop power braking in the parking lot, don't we? We got to hit the gas pedal and leave the foot off the brake. We got to make things happen. But how are we going to do that when people want to be whirling dervishes? I'm not joking. I'm not joking. So, well, I like the Venus Project, actually, Steve. The Venus Project seems to be a better thing. What's your problem with with a resource-based economy? Well, I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. Let's keep it real. Yo, you tell me. What do you think is the problem with a resource-based economy in the timeline? Timelines. MMT is already here. It's a system we have, blah, blah, blah. What do you think is the problem with timelines here? Do you think we have time for this? I mean, seriously, hook a brother up. Do we have time for you to end capitalism 50, 100 years? How long is it? 12 years, mind you. 12 years, baby. End capitalism. Fuck MMT. I can't be bothered learning MMT because I've got to end capitalism. 12 years. Your sensibilities be damned. 12 years. Our lives are in the balance. 12 years. Timelines. 12 years. If anybody should be pissed, it's the people that understand timelines, not the people that are spinning around in circles, wasting time. The people that get it are the ones that have every right to be angry because you're slowing down real shit from happening. Did he just say that? I think he did. I did. I promise you I did. I guarantee you I just said it. We can rewind it and I'll say it again. The people that have every right to be angry are the people that are going straight for the friggin' score and that are getting sidetracked and sidelined and bumbled over and stumbled over as some, gotta end capitalism. We gotta end this. We gotta end the Fed and then we gotta green the dollar and we gotta do this and we gotta do it. 12 years. 12 freaking years. You want to talk about environmental justice? You care so much about the planet. 12 years. 12 years. Oh, but we gotta get the Rothschilds. What are you gonna do? Spike their freaking Earl Grey? Put a bar of soap in the tub and make the Rothschilds slip? Is that the goal? Is that your grand plan? I don't know how else to do it. Hook a brother up. Give me a 12-year plan. Oh, we're going to fight. Antifa's going to fight the Proud Boys, and we're going to take over the streets of Oregon, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that. 12 years. 12 years. 12 years. I mean, I'll be 50 in April. 50. I happen to know that 12 years goes by like that. Now, let me take you another step further. We talked about spreadsheets before. You don't get that 12 years by just being poppycock and half-cocked and slipping here and slipping there. You need a plan. And all the good ideas and all the, well, you know, we got to, QAnon says Donald Trump's draining the swamp, guys. Okay, good, whatever. 12 years. I'm focused. How about you? Are you focused? Are you focused? 12 years. I mean, yeah, you know what? I'm pretty big on this whole, you know, inclusion thing and trying to make sure everybody is on board. But I got to tell you, lead, follower, get out of the way. We got 12 years. 12 years. And when you see Joe Bongiovanni and Howard Schweitzer peddling all this nonsense about how we need to regain our sovereign currency when we already have it, and they want to end the fractional reserve system, which hasn't existed since 1934. Okay? 12 years. This is what they're doing. This is why I get apoplectic. This is why I lose my mind. 12 years. If you don't see this, it's no wonder you're not upset. I wouldn't be upset either if I didn't realize there was a shelf life, a born on date, a do not use, an expiration date. I wouldn't blame you for not being upset if you didn't realize there is an expiration date on this. But there is, so there's no going back now. 12 years. And there's a lot of planning in that 12 years. It's not like we get to 12 years. Okay, we're good now. No, there's a lot of stuff that has to take place in the 12-year period. Do you understand what I'm saying? I want you to ask yourself really deep questions like this when there's nobody around. When you're looking in the mirror and you're brushing your teeth and flossing and all that stuff. When you're buying your lottery tickets. When you're bouncing your kid on your knee. I want you to ask yourself about timelines. I want you to look your loved ones in the eye and know that you wasted people's time that were trying to get to the prize by coming up, well, what about a resource-based economy? 12 years. 12 years. MMT is a cult for life. Yeah, baby. Dial me in. Cult Master Steve. I'm good with that. 12 years. Now, while you're busy stroking faces and cheeks and loving each other, and that's great, we need love. Love is what's going to drive us to the finish line. It takes love. But it takes a plan, folks. It takes a freaking plan. You don't get there spinning around. I promise to God, you don't get there spinning around. These things need to be coordinated. It cannot be shotgun scatter. And you got to stop picking scabs. You got to start going for the root causes. 12 years. 12. Folks, I'm going to tell you, learn modern monetary theory and then teach your friends. Because it's the way the system is today. It's just being used against us. It's time for the people to use the public money for the purposes of salvation of the planet, of our families, of our ecosystem, you name it. And the people that get in our way, we gotta blow past them. We got 12 years. We don't have time for their games. I'm telling you right now, we don't have time for their games. Do you know why I get mad at Lee Camp for this stuff? Now you do. 12 years. Do you know why I get mad at Tim Black for this stuff? Yeah, 12 years. Do I dislike them? Absolutely not. But am I angry? Yes, I fucking am. Do you know why I got mad at Jimmy Dore for not having Kelton on before now? This very reason. 12 years, folks. 12 years. Do I need to say it again? 12 years. Why, when I go to David Cobb and I say, David, and I have Ellis Winningham on the David, listen, and we have Warren Moser telling David, and we have Rowan Gray going, David. And David goes, well, you know, Green Party, we support AMI, green and a dollar, going to democratize the dollar, going to end Fed. David, 12 freaking years. Eyes up here. Stop looking. Eyes up here. Come on, David. Well, we want to, I'm a straight up revolutionary. 12 years, David. Save it for the book. 12 years. I'm Steve Grumbine, talking timelines, talking dependencies, talking spreadsheets, and talking about saving the planet. Learn modern monetary theory and each one teach one. Have a great day, everybody. I'm out.